In 2025, a manager at a logistics company in Atlanta, Georgia, was called into a meeting. The meeting was unusual. There was no one else in the room, just a screen. On that screen, an AI system presented him with his performance review. It told him where he underperformed, what decisions he made incorrectly, which of his team members were more productive without his input. And then, it recommended his demotion. The recommendation was approved, not by a human, by an algorithm. That manager's name has not been made public, but his story is not unique. It is becoming normal. We spent years worrying about AI taking our jobs, but nobody prepared us for something far more unsettling. AI is not just taking jobs, it is taking control of decisions, of promotions, of hiring, of firing, of strategy, of direction, of everything that used to require a human being to think, judge, and decide. And the question nobody is asking loudly enough is, what happens to us when the machine is in charge? This is not science fiction. This is not a warning about 2040. This is happening in boardrooms, warehouses, hospitals, law firms, and schools, right now, today. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how deep this goes, and what it means for every single person who works for a living. Hey, welcome back. We have spent 5 videos covering what AI is, what it is replacing, how to use it, how to profit from it, where it is ultimately heading. Today we zoom in on one specific shift that most people have not yet felt, but will. The shift from AI as a tool to AI as authority. Let me give you the landscape first. Right now, over 40% of Fortune 500 companies are using AI systems to make or influence hiring and firing decisions. Not assist, make. AI systems are scanning resumes, ranking candidates, scheduling interviews, analyzing video interviews for tone, word choice, and facial expressions. And in many cases, a human never sees your application. An algorithm decides whether you are worth a conversation, whether you deserve a chance. And if the algorithm says no, there is no appeal, no explanation, no human to call, just silence. But hiring is just the beginning. Once you are inside a company, AI watches. Amazon, one of the largest employers in the world, has been using AI systems to monitor warehouse worker productivity for years. The system tracks every movement, every scan, every second of idle time, and it automatically generates termination notices for workers who fall below its productivity threshold. No manager reviews the case, no human makes the call. The machine decides, the machine fires. Workers have reported receiving automated termination notices without ever speaking to a single human about their performance. Think about that for a moment. You lose your income, your livelihood, your ability to pay rent, and the decision was made by software. Now you might be thinking, that is warehouse work, that is not my world. Let me broaden this. Goldman Sachs, one of the most prestigious financial institutions in the world. In their trading division, AI systems now make the majority of trading decisions. A floor that once employed 600 traders in New York now employs 2 humans, overseeing thousands of AI-made decisions every single day. Their job is not to decide. Their job is to watch. In law firms across the United States, AI systems are now reviewing contracts, identifying risks, and recommending legal strategies. Senior partners review the output, but the thinking, the analysis, the judgment, that belongs to the machine. In hospitals, AI diagnostic systems are flagging conditions, recommending treatments, and in some cases, overriding doctor recommendations when the data suggests a different path. The doctor still signs the form, but increasingly, the decision was made before they picked up the pen. Here is what I want you to sit with. For all of human history, authority came from people. A king, a general, a CEO, a manager, a doctor, a judge, someone who could be questioned, challenged, held accountable, replaced. Authority had a face. AI authority has no face. It has no emotions to appeal to, no empathy to invoke, no ego to flatter, no conscience to reach. It simply calculates and outputs a decision. And in a world where AI is the boss, there is no one to argue with, no one to convince, no one to ask for a second chance. Just a number and a verdict. This raises a question that philosophers, lawyers, and ethicists are urgently debating right now. If an AI makes a decision that destroys your career, who is responsible? The company that deployed it? The engineers who built it? The data it was trained on? In most cases right now, the answer is nobody, because there is no law in most countries that clearly assigns responsibility for AI-made decisions that harm individuals. You can sue the company, but proving that the AI was wrong when the AI processed 10 million data points to reach its conclusion is nearly impossible. You cannot cross-examine an algorithm, and that is a power structure unlike anything we have ever seen. Let me take this even further. AI is not just becoming the boss in private companies. Governments are using AI to make decisions about citizens. In China, a social credit system powered by AI determines what citizens can access. Can they buy a plane ticket, get a loan, enroll their child in a good school? All determined by an algorithm tracking their behavior. You might say, that is China, not here. But in the United States, AI systems are already being used to determine bail decisions in courts, to assess the risk level of defendants, to recommend sentencing. A human judge still delivers the verdict, but the AI's risk score sits on the desk in front of them. And studies have shown that judges rarely deviate from what the algorithm recommends. So who is really making the decision? Now, I am not telling you this to make you feel helpless, because there is a response to this. There is a way to navigate it. And the people who understand what is happening will be infinitely better positioned than those who do not. Here is what the data actually shows. The workers who are thriving in AI-managed environments are not the ones fighting the system. They are the ones who learn to work with it. They understand what the AI measures. They optimize for those metrics. They use AI tools themselves to perform at a level the algorithm rewards. They essentially learn to speak the machine's language, and in doing so, they made themselves almost impossible to replace. But there is a deeper response needed, one that goes beyond individual strategy. Because AI authority is not just a workplace issue, it is a societal issue, and it requires a societal response. In the European Union, the AI Act is the first major legislation in the world specifically designed to regulate how AI can be used in high-stakes decisions. It requires transparency. It demands human oversight in critical decisions. It bans certain AI uses entirely. The United States does not yet have equivalent legislation, and that gap matters. Because without regulation, the default is whatever the company decides. And companies will always choose efficiency over humanity, unless there is a rule that says they cannot. Here is the core tension of this entire conversation. AI as a tool is extraordinary. We have covered that. AI as authority is something entirely different. A tool serves you. Authority commands you. And the transition from one to the other is already happening. Not with a dramatic announcement, not with a moment where everyone stops and decides, but quietly, one algorithm at a time, one decision handed over at a time, one human judgment replaced at a time. Until one day, we look around and realize the people in charge are not people at all. So what do you do right now? First, understand the metrics that matter in your field. AI systems measure what they are told to measure, Know what is being measured in your workplace. Perform accordingly. Second, build skills that AI cannot easily quantify. Relationship building, creative problem solving, ethical judgment, leadership under uncertainty. These are the skills that algorithms struggle to replace. Third, stay informed about AI regulation. This is a political issue now, not just a tech issue. Who you vote for, what policies you support, what companies you choose to work for, all of it matters. Fourth, do not be passive. The workers and citizens who will have the most power in an AI-managed world are the ones who actively engaged with the question before it was too late to influence the answer. There is a version of this future that is genuinely good, where AI handles the repetitive, biased, emotionally exhausting decisions, freeing humans for the work that actually matters. Where algorithms reduce the favoritism, the nepotism, the prejudice that human authority so often carries. Where data-driven decisions create fairer outcomes for more people. That version is possible, but it requires intentionality. It requires oversight. It requires humans who refuse to fully surrender the most important decisions to a machine. Because a machine can process information, but it cannot understand what it means to be human. It cannot feel the weight of a decision that changes a life. It cannot know what justice actually feels like. And that is not a small thing. That is everything. If this video made you think about power differently, about who actually controls your future, hit like. It takes 1 second, and it means the world to this channel. Subscribe if you have not already, because next video, we go even deeper. We are going to talk about the one skill that no AI can ever replace. Not today, not in 10 years, possibly never. And it is not what you think. See you there. Stay human, stay ahead.